Hi, I'm Arthur Kelly. I'm part of Shark Cage, class of 22, and my business is an on-campus pizza business, late night, and it's called Arthur Eats. So first, kind of how this idea came to be. Late night, I was studying before midterms last year. Ended up realizing that I wanted food and I was out. Not very smart on my part, but so I went out and I was looking around for food and I realized that there is nothing open late on campus for food. The only thing that was open at the time was Starbucks. Now Chartwell's has kind of changed that to be Outtakes. So there's no food available that's pre-made, that's ready for you to eat, hot and ready at all, which is kind of where I came up with my idea. So our goal of the business is to provide students at NSU with a positive late night dining experience. Like you had touched on, I think it's really important to have a really good community, setting things up really well for just a nice experience, relax, you can grab food, hang out, not just a super in and out thing. We want to have a really welcoming environment for everybody. Our service is to provide freshly cooked pizzas to students of Nova Southeastern University. That's obviously the main thing here. And the business is pretty much getting frozen pizzas from Costco and making them hot and fresh, ready to sell by the slice to students here at night. So our value proposition, we have a lot of stuff with convenience. Obviously, having stuff in Mako Hall is very, very convenient to students. All you have to do is roll out of bed, walk right outside. It's right there. It's closer for a lot of students than the university center is, even if you wanted to go over there. Along with that, the food's already pre-made, which is another convenience factor, whereas if you wanted to go to Outtakes to get something, you'd still have to bring it back, make it, that takes time. Along with that price, comparatively to buying a full pizza, if you're just an individual, like I live alone, buying a full pizza can be $10, whatever, delivery cost, tips. Uber Eats charge, it has a surcharge between $3 and $7, depending on where you get food from, which gets pretty pricey pretty quick comparatively to a $2.50 slice of cheese pizza or $3 slice of pepperoni. And also the hours, like I said, there's nothing really open on campus during these times at night. So our target market is residential students. Obviously they're here late night. You have a couple other people like Davie Police and Public Safety who are around, but there's a very limited amount of those people, meaning that we really want to touch the students. Key success is going to be marketing, letting people know that we're there, what we're doing, when we're doing it. Having speed, obviously, it's part of convenience, is you don't want to show up and be waiting 35 minutes for a pizza. You want it to be quick. You want to just grab a slice, be able to hang out in customer service. Having a friendly face, having somebody who's there who wants to talk to you is obviously something nicer than going to Outtakes where they're just going to swipe your card and keep it moving. Trends and drivers, obviously a trend for the school is continuous growth of the undergraduate students. Every year there's more and more students here. They keep adding to that. Lack of other good options is really a driver, and having good food at a good price is a major driver too. As far as promotional materials for the business, having loyalty cards, you buy 9 slices, you get the 10th free. That's just a example of what it would look like. Marketing. So I think marketing is really, really, really important. It's what either makes or breaks your business. So I think really trying to partner with the UNIV classes, which is Intro to College, for all the freshmen to let them know where we are and what businesses are around. I know our class personally last year, we ended up doing a scavenger hunt. And so having the Shark Cage be a part of that, obviously a good thing. Being there while they're doing that, introducing them, letting them know kind of what's going on. Talking with the RAs in residential life and housing, and having them be able to put out the blast, as most of the RAs have group chats with everybody on their floor, with all of our businesses and kind of what we're doing when we're open. Flyers on buildings and signs, obviously very important. Social media marketing, Instagram and Snapchat. Instagram, I think a lot of people use, and it's good just during the day to remind you, but I think Snapchat is really good for spur of the moment decision making, as far as if you go and you look and you see me with pizza and Eva with the milkshakes, and all of a sudden you go, I think I want to go over there right now, and I'm just going to grab a pizza and a shake real quick. And that really can drive customers there, where I think a lot of people, sometimes stuff like Facebook and Instagram just maybe swipe more through. It's just kind of a good reminder more than anything. Location and hours, obviously that is Mako Hall, and that's the Shark Cage in Mako Hall. It's the late night dining, so from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday nights. These hours match up with Eva and the Shake Place, which is really, really good because we can drive business to each other, do some deals together, and I mean, pizza and a shake, you can't go wrong with that. So, competition, obviously Outtakes and delivery is really the only two competition type things, which Outtakes is different really from what we're doing. You can still get food there, which technically makes it a competition. However, they're very, very different. You have to do it yourself. It's a lot farther of a walk for most of us. And delivery, which if you live in a single like I do, it doesn't really make sense for you to order a full pizza for yourself. And that also gets expensive over time between tipping drivers, delivery fees, even stuff like Uber Eats where they deliver. It gets very, very expensive, very, very quick, because they also have service fees on top of delivery fees and tips too. So you can be adding an extra $15 to an order that was just for one small pizza, which was $5 to begin with. So SWOT analysis, some of our strengths: it's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. Also, where it's located is a really good strength. Some of the weaknesses are limited hours. It can only work so much. And that it is frozen pizza. We're not making it fresh. So it's obviously, it's not New York pizza per se, or New Haven pizza for any of those pizza connoisseurs out there. But it's still better than what you would get even in the UC, so, which is good. Opportunities, obviously partnering with the Shake Place is really, really big to do some things. Along with that, Shark Preview Weekend and all of those events are very large. I think last weekend they had, 168, 170 students who were in there, which can be a big boost to business, along with Finn's Football, which you may not be able to bring the oven there, but you can still cook pizzas using grills, which gives it a little bit of a different taste too, which is interesting. And obviously threats are going to be Chartwell's, Uber Eats, and delivery. So our market analysis. So do you believe that there is enough late night on-campus food options? Pretty much everybody says no. There's really nothing here that's made, that's food. Would you use a service that sells pizza on Friday, Saturday nights from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m.? Majority said yes, overwhelmingly. What type of pizza do you want? A lot of people said cheese, a lot of people said pepperoni. There were some other ones thrown in there. Over time, if people get kind of used to just the same thing, just pizza, pepperoni, we might have to change it up. One of the good things is that because they're frozen, they last a while too. If you wanted to do specialty pizzas, and if we end up getting a lot of requests for that, we can move into that. And even if it's not as popular, it's still not like the food's gonna go bad immediately over a week, which is really, really nice. How often would you use this service? A lot of people said once a week. A lot of people said once every other week, which is an overwhelming majority of the students here at Nova, which is really, really good to hear. I think it proves that there's a market for this and the validity of that. Also, what's the most that you would pay for a slice of pizza? Keyword most was between $3.50, $3, and $2.50 were the biggest ones, which is kind of the target area. $2.50 for a slice of cheese, $3 for a slice of pepperoni. Can't go wrong there. So products, we're going with the Costco pizza. I think also determining which type of pizza to use was a big thing. I went with smaller pizzas actually, and I wasn't thinking about this in the beginning, but it came up that the smaller pizzas have less cook time, so you can be faster instead of having to throw it in the oven for 25, 30 minutes, whatever. Significantly less cook time. You also, because it's smaller, you can do a little bit bigger slices, but when you do that too, or not necessarily bigger, but less slices per pizza, which means that you have less of a chance of losing product. If you cook a whole 20-inch pizza, 18-inch pizza, just to sell one slice, that's not gonna cover the entire price of the pizza, whereas if I do smaller ones, even with one slice, if only one slice is sold, it pretty much covers the pizza. I think there's about 10-cent loss there, which isn't really bad. So that's really good to save on inventory, so it was a kind of smart decision. I never really thought about it as a pizza person myself, but doing this obviously opened some new avenues. So this is just the operations and equipment. Obviously freezer and oven are going to be a big thing. They're provided by the school, which is very nice. Pizza trays and cuttings. This is kind of an itemized list of all of the just things that we're going to need for that. Everything in yellow is stuff which is, it's one-time cost, and everything in blue is variable cost. Over time you have to buy more pizza, buy more gloves, so that's kind of for opening day. Opening day balance sheet, used an online thing for this, which is really, really cool, does all stuff. So if you go through there, supplies, advertising, breaks everything down really, really well. Which is nice, and even in the notes you can see for pizzas and pizza trays and cutters, $36 for all that. So if you go through, very, very helpful. Cash flow chart is there, so that's for the whole first year. So that's good. Our sales for the first year and break-even point, this is based on selling 20 slices a night, which I think is very, very doable. There's a lot of people who come into the Shark Cage at night. I know Mason sells a ton of shakes every night, so I think that it's a pretty reserved number, especially when you get to just times where there are events on campus and stuff going on at night where you have a lot of people, Shark Preview, all that type of stuff. The cost per unit is for cheese pizzas only 65 cents, and the cost for pepperoni is only 81 cents a slice. Which means that my profit margins are pretty good, $1.85 on cheese and $2.19 on pepperoni. Very, very good margins, which adds up to a lot. So with 400, you would need to sell 446 slices to break even, hit that break even point. Based on selling 20 slices a night, that would be done in about 2.5, 3 months, which is pretty good. And so that is my business, and I was asking for $900 for the loan, if you saw that in that earlier, and if you guys have any questions.